culture, Indian culture and spirituality classes were there, but they were not very structured to learn everything as it is supposed to be. Used to learn the essence of it. And that essence we kept on learning. And once in a discourse, Bhagavan said, everybody should read Bhagavad Gita, 12th chapter. This is what he said. So that was the first introduction to Bhagavad Gita to me. Before that, we all know one Bhagavad Gita because we had watched the serials which used to be produced in those times. Now these children are so unfortunate, they don't even get that. But at least those days, the whole India used to come to a standstill when Mahabharata serial was going on. Nobody will be outside. A pin drop silent, like dead silence. That kind of interest people had in knowing about our scripture. So we learned whatever little, but no proper shlokas. So first time we read through 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the qualities of a devotee. That itself was a very heavy chapter in the sense if you really understand the chapter, you want to follow even one value or one quality, it will take a lifetime of effort to become that. One quality is Aniketa, by the way. It says Aniketa Stiramatihi, the one who is steady-minded and who has no house, like last time we discussed. Practice that. Not easy. It will take a whole lifetime and maybe more lifetimes just to get one quality right of Bhagavad Gita's 12th chapter. 40 qualities like that are there. You can go on many lifetimes to learn that. But he initiated. And his discourse on Vedanta, that time it all used to, for small children like many of you in this room, I'm sure, it's all going above head. It never occurred. Because we won't understand. We are so busy with tomorrow. The assignment has to get over, day after exams are there, semester end exams are there, projects have to be submitted. So many things are running in our head. The discourse had no place in our head. Students, I'm not saying devotees and those who had evolved, but those who were really just come and started studying, they found it difficult. And those 2.5 hours long discourses used to be sometimes extremely difficult to even sit through and understand because they were all highly Advaitic. From the beginning it was Advaitic, but we never understood because still not, samskara has not happened, we have not evolved enough to grasp the essence of what is being taught. We were not good shishyas. So it all used to go above the head. But that knowledge of wisdom of Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita or whatever other scriptures is a must for every human being to evolve. Of course, their grasping power, their ability to understand, assimilate, their yogyata, as I mentioned, that depends on their purva janma samskaras also. Not everybody will respond to the scriptures the same. Everybody can become a musician. Sometimes our music boys complain. I tell every student should know some raga, some bhajan. Some of them came and complained, Swami, some of them are like impossible. In this lifetime, I don't think they'll get it right. So don't expect everybody will sing in swaras and tala and they'll sing a raga. Not for everyone. So I understand that. But I want the sound, as I said, of the truth to at least the raga should go into their ears. They should know, okay, this is Mohanam. This is how it sounds. These are the bhajans. Some things, because this is our culture. If we don't even give that exposure, we cannot blame them tomorrow for not appreciating our culture because we have not even given a chance to hear that truth. This is why I go on repeating this because whatever it is, at least some words will go inside your mind. At least you will know some Upanishad exists. And these are the ideas discussed. Some evolution has happened, you would be able to grasp it better. This is my whole, whatever the effort or what is my thing that at least some, because they will know Brahman. Like great intellectuals that we have plenty, but they are no good to the society. They're very selfish. What's the use of all the intelligence which is only for selfishness? So Brahma Janati, to know Brahman is the idea. So I keep reminding our Veda Pathshala students also, just because you have shaven your head and put a Upanayanam or whatever Jainayu, that doesn't qualify you. Yagnopivitam is not qualification. You have to earn that, earning by learning the scriptures and learning the ultimate truth. And this is what I keep telling everybody. But I felt personally that at least everybody, whether they're born in whichever Kula Varga, doesn't matter. Wherever they're born, at least they should hear this truth once. And if it appeals to them because they have some Purjanma Susamskaras are there, who knows, they may just blossom from there. Even if it doesn't, at least it'll go and stay there as a seed, dormant right now, but at some point in time it will germinate in some good situation. So I hope like this and go on doing what needs to be done. But I expect that teachers and students should take interest in learning these things, which is important for their ultimate wisdom, ultimate freedom. All others will take you only so far, but you cannot cross over unless you know this truth. So slow and steady, some effort should be made. That is the idea. Upanayanam was done. They were initiated into Gayatri Mantra, and Gayatri Mantra is like the crest jewel of all the mantras in the Vedas. Comes from Rig Veda, 10th mandala, where the Rishi is Vishwamitra. He got this Gayatri Chanda, and in his own meditation, he revealed this mantra to the world. Very beautiful, you all know. But what does it pray for? Many people say, Swami, if I chant Gayatri Mantra, will I be protected from all evils? I say, yes, of course you will be. Some people say, can I chant Gayatri Mantra for getting better memory so that I can get good marks? I say, yes, you can do that too. Some people ask, if I chant Gayatri Mantra, will I become healthy? I said, yes, you can become healthy too by chanting Gayatri Mantra. So people chant Gayatri Mantra for all kinds of reasons without even knowing the true meaning of the mantra. It mantra says Om, of course, Om is the Vyaharati, Om is the name of Brahman, Om iti Brahma, that is said in scriptures. Like if I call out your name, you will respond to that. Likewise, when I say Om, that Brahman gets invoked. It responds, that divinity responds. So we chant Om. Bhur pertains to the body, mind and spirit, the three lokas, or you call it Jagrita, Swapna, Sushupti Avastha, the wakeful state, the dream state and the deep sleep state in which we exist. So all three, Om, Bhur, these are all Vyaharatis, these are not the mantra. Mantra starts with Tat Saviturvarenyam. It says Tat, that, Savitah. Savita means sun, sun god. It is dedicated to sun god. But sun also is representation of light, effulgence, which means knowledge. So that which is effulgent, knowledgeable, full of knowledge and wisdom. Which wisdom? Wisdom of the self, of the truth. Sat Savitah, Savituh Varenyam, that which is adorable, worshipable. Varenyam. Bhargo Devasya, that is effulgent, that divinity which is effulgent. And Diva means also our senses. That which makes us experience the world is also Deva. So that which helps us experience this world, that consciousness, last time we told. To that, Bhargo Devasya Dhimai, I meditate upon that truth which illuminates me and all my body, mind and spirit. Not just that, it is the one which helps me experience the world. It illuminates my senses and helps me understand everything. To that effulgent self, like sun, what do? I meditate upon Dhimahi. I meditate, I put my buddhi in it, invest my thoughts in it. That is meditation. Dhiyo yonaha prachodayat. May this intellect of mine, by your grace, prachodayat, by your grace, may this intellect become effulgent with the knowledge. That is the idea. So we are not asking by chanting Gayatri Mantra I should get more marks in mathematics or I should remember more of the formula. No. We are asking that, oh divinity that resides in me at all times and in all the lokas, which is effulgent with that knowledge of the ultimate truth. You bless me with the same knowledge. Let my intellect shine with that knowledge so that I see things as they are. See, when you're in a dark room, you may take one thing for the other because you don't see things clearly. But when you switch on the light, you can clearly see everything. Likewise, if our mind is dark, without that wisdom of the self, we see the world as world only. Everything that he said, we see the snake in the rope. But the moment you switch on the light, you see the rope and snake disappears. All the fear disappears. Likewise, this Gayatri Mantra is to invoke that divinity within, to make our intellect shine with that wisdom so that we see things in the right perspective. We see each other as a woman, man, young, old, rich, poor, wealthy or unwealthy, whatever. All these differences disappear. These are like the superimposition of the snake on the rope. When this knowledge dawns, you see everything is Brahman. Everything is divinity. Yes, in different forms and names. But underlying principle is divinity. So you don't hate anybody, so also you don't get attached unnecessarily. You don't, this both disappears from there. Ashtavakra says, Bubukshaihe samsare mumukshubihe vidyate bhoga moksha nirakankshi viralo hi mahashayaha. There are people desirous of the world, bhoga. They want to enjoy the world. Bubukshus there. Then mumukshus are also there, those who want to renounce the world and seek liberation. But barely you find some great one who neither wants bhoga nor he wants moksha. He is happy as he is. Why? Because he sees everything as divinity. What is there to seek? What is there to ask? What is there to desire? Everything is you. Everything is yours, own Swarupa. This knowledge dawns on such a person, so that person becomes free. Can't be fooled into the illusions of the world. So he lives a life which is free. That is the ultimate gift of the wisdom of scripture. So Gayatri mantra is given for that. They all chant Sandhya Vandanam, they chant Gayatri mantra. All of us chant Gayatri mantra. But if we don't chant with this right understanding, it will have minimal effect. Like if you go to our hospital, they'll give you some medicine, but they also will tell you how to take the medicine, what time to take, what to eat, what not to eat during that time. Aharam Patyam, that is the Ayurveda. But if you only take medicine and don't follow the other advice of when to eat and what food not to eat, what food to eat, then medicine will not completely do what it can. Likewise, Gayatri Mantra chanting verbally is one thing, but to understand why you are chanting and truly seek that blessing of the mantra is very important. See, that is very important. That is why it is whatever you learn, little Sanskrit also you learn, little any language you learn, understand the essence of it. Don't parrot it out like tape recorders. That is not the way. Understand the essence and chant. Whatever little you learn, learn thoroughly. So you have great fortune because see, not every school teaches Sanskrit, not every school teaches mantras. You are learning all this. And mind you, if it was a few hundred years back, you would not have had, most of it, 90% in this hall, would not have access to these things. It was quite exclusive for only a few people. And there were no videos and scriptures and printed communications. You could not just take it and study on your own. So you had to really find a guru, and guru should be willing to accept you. He will check your qualification and many things. That is not easy. So all these things have to come together for you to even learn some of these things. So enjoy it as you are learning. Don't just think of it as additional responsibility or a burden. That would be what can I say? It is like the poem is there. No, pussycat, pussycat, where had you been? I had been to London to see the Queen. Pussycat, pussycat, what did you see there? I saw a mouse under the chair. We will become like this spiritual pussycats who only look for mouse. Mouse means maths marks, science marks, medicine marks. And we forget to see the Queen, the real divine self. Because we are only interested, what is a cat interested in after all? How to catch a rat. That's all is her interest. Is she interested in seeing the Queen? No. Like that, let our minds not become spiritual pussycats which are only interested in worldly things even after coming to this place. That is not, undervalue the opportunity. Let us not, shortchange ourselves of this great opportunity. So that is why I keep insisting. And as you see this year, as it progresses, you will only hear more and more of Advaita, because we are going to learn Ashtavakra Gita. That's a very, very beautiful scripture. Many people misunderstand it, misinterpret it, and wrongly practice it. But I want to kind of dispel that confusion around it. And at the same time, some people read a few scriptures and they already think they are Brahmagyanis. There are some like that. From next day onwards, they'll put on their computers and start recording their Instagram and whatever that videos and YouTube. Suddenly they become spiritual bloggers just by reading 4 or 5 scriptures, continuously they keep talking about it. That also can happen after all these things. Some of you will think there is a halo around your head or something like that and start off on discoursing people. But our scripture says, Ande naiva niyamana yathandaha. It's like blind leading the blind. Avidyayam antare vartamana swayam dhira pandita manyamana. Dandravyamana paryanti mudaha andhe naiva niyamana yathandaha. Some people read up a bit of scriptures, they think they have understood everything, they consider themselves as panditas, means gyanis, and then they start telling the truth to everybody in their excitement. And then what happens? They also don't understand, the other fellows doesn't understand, all of them go and fall in the pit. They go in circles, ultimately fall in the well. So this is the idea. So reading scriptures is one thing, mugging it up is one thing, but experiencing it is another thing. If you don't experience it, that knowledge is not complete. It still helps, but it is incomplete. It's like seeing a menu card. You know all the dishes which are available in the hotel, but if you can't eat any of them, what use is all that knowledge of what is available? So make efforts, and the effort to reach here is to read the scriptures, to assimilate the knowledge by practicing it as much as possible in its truest essence. And ultimately, who gets the wisdom? The one who seeks it gets it. That's it. If you need it, you deserve it. If you seek it thoroughly, sincerely, eagerly, then the knowledge reveals itself to you. That is why he's saying to sun god, nor whatever the divinity, Dihoyona prachodya, you enlighten me. You let this intellect shine. I surrender this intellect to you. I meditate upon your truth. Let this truth dawn upon me. Let I see everything in that light of that wisdom, so that I see it correct. I don't see the snake where there is only a rope, and don't live a life in fear. So that is the kind of beautiful scriptural truths. Today I had been to this Narasimha. I'm sure he has already aroused the curiosity of most of you. And if I go back, most of your food won't get digested tonight. And that is still okay. But tomorrow morning rumors will start. You know, this happens. But the Swayamdira Pandita are there, no? They'll carry, I know what happened there in the temple. And they'll confuse everybody. So I'll only tell it once for all. 3-4 days back, I was sitting there. From my window, I can see this small hillock on the other side, close to Nandi Hills, which is called Gopinath Gutta, they call it. But there is a temple of Narasimha Deva Swami. So Narasimha avatar, you all know. Half man, half lion avatar. And so you go there. I never been there because there was never an opportunity. But since I was sitting there, I felt a calling, and I thought we should go and at least offer our obeisances, because we are neighbors, we better greet each other. They shouldn't be offended. So we went there. Today we went there just to offer prayers. The temple people are very nice. They say it's a 400-year-old temple, but I believe it's much, much older than that. So there is a Swayambhu Narasimha Swami. It's not a lingam, it's kind of a stone which somebody had a vision of Narasimha Swami. So it's being worshipped as that. It's been decorated and made it look like Narasimha Swami. So we just went there as more of a matter of courtesy. And when we were offering all the prayers, then when they were doing the arati and all, I had a vision of this Narasimha Swami. Because I never seen him in the sense in my vision also. I had never an opportunity to even meditate on that form, because there was no necessity. So, but when we went there, I saw that Narasimha Swami as a half lion and half man. Half man means only the waist down is like human shape. The waist up is a lion's body, including hands, and they're not hands, they're like paws, giant ones with nails and all that. So that is the vision, and it was roaring. When the arati was being given, it was roaring out of joy only. It was an expression, because it can only speak the lion's language, because the upper body is lion. It was roaring so loud, I could hear it in my ear, and I had kind of a rumbling in my stomach. You see, if you sit next to a big speaker which is very loud and it is playing music, you can feel the beat in your tummy, in your stomach. So that louder roar, but out of joy only, out of blessing only. So I was just mentioning to them that how all these gods are there, they're always there. These are not stories, cock and bull stories that our scriptures tell. We call it mythology and Puranas, and kind of reject them, or even refuse to accept the truth of it. But these are true, because once you experience, you know. So till I had myself an experience of it, how would I even be able to tell you that yes, something like that does exist? What was interesting is that the Abhayhasta was not the hand of a man. Generally in the portrayals of Narasimha Swami, when his hand is shown as a human hand, but it was a paw of a lion. It was not, but it was smeared with turmeric, kumkum and all, like alankara that they do. So all I'm saying is that all these scriptures are true. These sages have experienced these truths. But above all, they've experienced the truth of Brahman, which is the highest. You have to experience that. If you don't experience that, your knowledge is not complete. You should be dissatisfied. You should be you should still have the hunger. You should not feel satiated with whatever you have learnt in life. If you haven't learned this, you should feel that emptiness in you. You should feel that longing. You should feel that craving for more. If it is not happening, that mumukshatva is not happening, all this education is simply a wastage, according to me. Of course, some use because it helps gets you a salary, it helps you feed your family, and all that I understand. That is definitely useful. But if you are still not grown to that level, then it is not, at least no use of studying in our institutions. Study anywhere, it makes sense. Because that there the purpose only is to get you an education, then an employment. So it's perfect there. I'm not having any complaints about it. But our idea is not to stop at employment, right? Our is to enlightenment. Education to employment to enlightenment. If enlightenment is not happening, then our process is not complete. This is why I am very particular that everybody makes efforts. Little effort also, it goes a long way in this spiritual path. It is rewarded disproportionately in spiritual path. Because our scriptures say that once that Atman becomes happy with us, it reveals itself. If you please that Brahman, that oh, here is a sincere seeker who is seeking me above everything else, it becomes happy. It says, prasidati. It becomes happy and then reveals itself to you. That is the beauty of our scriptures. Don't undermine the importance of these things. I know you don't, but even otherwise make efforts to practice. Salpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. A little effort on this path will take away greatest of the fears. And as he said, the biggest fear is fear of death. When everything comes to an end, so to say. That fear of death also disappears. And neha vikramanashosti. And whatever effort you put is never lost in this path. If not in this lifetime, in another lifetime it will be useful. You will start the journey where it ended in the previous life. You won't go back, slide back. So that itself is a good help, right? So neha vikramanashosti pratyavayo na vidyate. And there are no adverse effects of it. Many parents worry, oh, if all this they will learn, they'll become sannyasis or something like that. The swami used to tell this story in Puttaparthi. Once some Bhagavatam or something was going on, like in earlier times, whole night you will hear the discourse on all these stories. So one young boy, every night he will go and sit there and listen to the Bhagavatam Katha. Parents got very worried, who were also attending the program, by the way. So they said, Swamiji, I think we should not bring our son, because if he listens to it too much, who knows, he may become a monk or a sannyasi and we will lose our whatever future generations. So the Pandit said, you have been listening to this Bhagavatam for last 40 years. Have you become a sannyasi? Not yet. Oh, why are you worried? Idea is that what's the point in just listening for this year and taking out from the other year? Nothing goes inside. That is of no use. It's a waste of time for everybody. It's a wasted effort. Put some interest in it. That interest is important. How do you develop the interest? Stay in all these birds of same feather, these cricket fellows. Now more and more people want to join cricket academy. I asked, what were you doing till now? Suddenly you woke up. Because we have started for 6th, 7th, 8th, because they also have to study academics. Now people have gone to 10th, 12th, even graduated. Now they all want to go and join cricket. I said, you can join the cricket as after school kind of a activity, but having it as a full time at your age is not possible for me to, because it takes so many number of years to bring you to a certain level. You can't just start halfway through unless you're a prodigy or something. But what I'm saying is that, like you stay with the like-minded people, you develop interest in things. You also stay with people who are always interested in spiritual ideas. Then you will also develop that interest and you will also start learning it, start grasping it. So to stay in good company, very important. Good company is everything. If your company is wrong, you cannot stay right. It will take you away from the right path. Choose your company very, very carefully. And be wise to stay with the right people who have interest in spirituality. Even in your class, I'm sure there will be some who are very interested, there will be some who will be very dull about it or are not very keen. Stay with those who are very keen on these things. Like all these students who are not doing very well, they always want to hang around with the intelligent ones, right? so that something rubs on to them, they will be hoping. Likewise, stay in the company of people who are interested in God and spirituality. Your life will be much better. You will get both. Iha para, Krishna says, yoga, kshemam, vahamiham. Both worlds will be taken care of if you just practice this much. So, with these words, I'll conclude. It's getting late. And I'm hoping and really sincerely hoping that all of you will take all these words to your heart, practice sincerely, and benefit from it. At the end of it, even if a few of you have risen to this level of Brahma Janati iti Brahmanaha, I think I would be delighted that all the efforts have paid off well. And if all of you rise to that, nothing like it, this will be a huge force that will transform the world. Okay.